Hey everyone, it's Mike from Mike Olson Art. I hope everyone's having a great day today. As usual, thank you guys so very much for taking the time to check in and hear me talk about some of my newest card art projects. The project that I want to talk to you guys about today, super interesting project and a lot of fun to work on for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that it's just a card that I've never drawn before and a player that I've never illustrated. So anytime one of you guys comes to me with a request of a new player, it's always super interesting and it's always a lot of fun to get started on. So this one was cool for that reason. And you know, I've said it a lot, I love doing rookie cards, so this one is also a rookie card. And this card in general just kind of brought me back to another card project that I worked on probably a couple months ago. The family of a pitcher named Don Carithers, who pitched for the San Francisco Giants, reached out and they wanted to have one of his cards done, handmade. So they reached out and requested a card. But the one thing that kind of stuck out to me was that they really wanted to add a bit of info that turned out to be one of Don's favorite moments of his playing career. And you'd think that as a pitcher, you know, that moment had to be something like an important strikeout or maybe a complete game or a shutout or something related to his pitching. But that really wasn't the case. It turned out that his favorite moment was the fact that he got his first major league hit off of St. Louis Cardinals pitcher Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson is super famous. He's an incredibly good, hard-throwing, hard-nosed pitcher. And I thought that it really said a lot about Bob that, you know, another pitcher would consider their best moment to be the time they got a hit off of Bob. So I love when I can kind of connect the dots and things come full circle like that. So it was great to get a Bob Gibson request in. And why don't we just get right to it? Take a look at what we came up with. All right, so this is our Bob Gibson card. A lot of you are going to recognize this is his rookie card, and it is just a beautiful card to get to work on. Obviously super colorful, and just a lot went into working on this card. So why don't we just dive right in and see what it was. All right, so here is our 1959 Bob Gibson rookie card. Just right off the bat, just a visually beautiful card. Beautiful coloring. The design on this one is just super interesting. It's got this circular kind of area for the player, the cockeyed text, the big bold areas of color. It's just a really cool card, really unlike any other card design, and that in itself made it kind of cool to work on. But this one had a lot of tiny little details in it, and I love the tiny details, and any card that has a bunch of them in it is always fun to work on. This one had some tiny trees over his shoulder. It's got the tiny cardinal head peeking out from his uniform. It's got these two ultra tiny cardinals here that were extremely tiny but really fun to work on. And altogether, it's just fun to work on a card that has all these little details that you've got to kind of pay attention to. Just right off the bat, though, Bob is big, smiling right in the middle of this card. You still have his signature on here, which is really cool to see. Really beautiful signature. You can tell that he, was careful about every letter on this one. It wasn't scribbled on by any means, but, just a really distinctive card design and really fun to work on. I think you guys are going to enjoy the time lapse for this one because I kind of did this card in 3 separate chunks, and you'll get to kind of see each chunk kind of materialize on its own until they all blend together at the end. But just a fun card front. Bob, his rookie year was 1959, but he didn't become a full-time starter until 1961, and a lot of people think that was due to racism on the team. Most notably from the manager who didn't want to give Bob a chance, but that manager, Sally Hemus, was fired and the new manager was had much closer ties with Bob and made him a full-time starter in 1961, and it was like a rocket ship from that point on. In 1962, Bob was already an all-star. In 1968, he had a 1.12 ERA. He had 17 strikeouts in the World Series. I mean, his resume is just off the charts. You could go and look at, 9-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champ, threw a no-hitter in 71. I mean, he's just an amazing pitcher, and it was a real honor to work on this card. I put a couple of his career stats on the back. Really, really mind-blowing statistics for Bob. He did it all. He was an incredible pitcher. So I've got, his stats on the back. I pulled a little of that pink from the front onto the back of this one because I just thought it kind of tied the front and the back together. So that's why I decided to do the pink there. But just a nice clean card back. Really happy with how this came out. And, just a real fun card overall to work on. So thank you guys for taking a look. All right. So that is the story of our 1959 Bob Gibson rookie card. Really wonderful card to get to work on. The first Bob Gibson card I've gotten to work on, and the first time I've gotten to use a whole lot of pink in a card. So super, super cool. Just a really fun card. And thank you so much to the client that reached out and wanted to do this card. I believe this one is actually a gift for somebody else. So I really hope that that person loves this card. So thank you so much. All right, guys, if you're looking for, an interesting gift for a baseball lover, or, you just want a card that you just can't get somewhere, just reach out. There's no card that we can't make. So, reach out to me here on Instagram or head over to michaelsonart.com and contact me there. But let's hear about your card ideas. Thank you guys so much for taking the time, and I'll talk to you again soon.